Alrighty, gang. We are now set to do an in-depth review, preview, post breakdown, post competition breakdown for the u90 Pro Am at the Kamloops Twin Rivers strength event. So, I obviously took part in it. I was very excited for it, and I'll quickly go over what I expected to go down before the show. So, leading up to the show, I expected Kyle Evanoff to win it. He literally has no weaknesses, and his training was looking pretty stellar. Even though he had come off the couch, he is one of the most technically proficient athletes I've ever come across. And I think that's a moth, so that's fine. Yeah, it's a moth. Okay, good. I was like, if that's a spider, I have to get up and go kill it. But it's a moth. Screw those eight-legged freaks. Anyways, moving on. I expected Kyle Evanoff to be in first. I expected myself to be 1 or 2 points behind him, most likely because of the farmer's walk. And I expected Jeremy to be in third, most likely. But I figured it was just as likely, just about as likely, I should say, that either Robin Killeron or William Murray would end up in third. I figured they'd be kind of picking up the pieces there. And then I thought that Guetienne and Carlos would be fighting for the last couple places. Boy, was I wrong. Holy smokes. So this show went quite a bit differently than expected. Quite a bit differently. Let's go through the points here. Event 1, max log. So William actually lifted the 255, which is the opener, put it down too soon, didn't wait for the down command, tried to go for it again, missed it. Huge disappointment there, super sad. It would have gotten him a share of 4 points for fourth place with Kyle Evanoff, who did successfully lift the 255. Both Carlos Monsalve and Guetienne Plant also failed, so that left those guys with 0 points. I feel like Carlos in training, I think he was PRing and getting around like 260, 265 on average. Must have just been a bad day for him. I feel like he really had this. Guetienne Plant, I know he was saying that this would likely be a bit of a stretch, and he wasn't really sure if he'd get it. So I don't think he was that surprised he failed the log. Big surprise with Will Murray. I was really hoping he'd get this because it'd be a really good lift for him. But sadly, no. Kyle Evanoff, I was actually expecting to go a bit heavier. He did the 255, but failed the 275, I believe. 270 or 260, I don't remember which one. But basically, he was just feeling like absolute garbage after the weight cut. He did a fairly substantial weight cut, and it really did do some damage, as we will see throughout the course of the competition. Jeremy Patfield was really hoping for a big press, did not end up happening. 265 is still a massive press. Let's be honest. For a guy who's weighing in under 200 pounds, 265 is a massive press. However, I know that in his heart of hearts, he was hoping to be closer to the 300 mark. Just didn't happen this time around. It is what it is. It happens sometimes. Robin Killeron, I'm grateful that he took second at 275. He could have gone heavier. Robin, by the look of how he was doing that day, probably could have gone 285, 295. But he was confident that I would be doing a little bit more than him, just what I needed to do to win. And I felt the same. I felt honestly I could, if I have to, I'll push it to the max and go hard, right? But he was content with second, and I said, okay, cool. I'll just do a couple pounds more, and I'll get, first place. And so he got 275 for second, and I got 285 for first place. That's the log, done and dusted. The next event was the farmer's walk into the sled drag. Now, William Murray snapped back with an incredible time of 42.88 to finish the course. Guetienne Plant, 43.81, right behind Will. Right behind Will. Huge surprise. I knew Guetienne would be a good mover. I knew his grip was incredible. I did not think he would pull this off. That's incredible. Jeremy Patfield, again, 44.88. These guys are exactly 1 second slower or faster than one another. Incredible times. Incredible times. So yeah, Fourth place, shockingly, Robin Killaron. I did not see this one coming personally. Like Robin, I know he's a strong guy. I knew he moves well, but the rope was so slippery. It was extremely slippery. The sled was actually much harder than expected. Most of the super heavyweights, the vast majority of them, did not finish this, and we were doing the same weights as them. Robin Killaron is also not a big dude, and if you're looking at like speed on farmers, being taller helps because longer foot stride and speed on sled drags. Like this is a seated sled drag, arm over arm pull. Being tall helps, and having big, meat mitts helps. Robin killed this event. I'm so pumped for Robin to be in fourth place, even though he was 9 seconds slower than the next fastest time. The fact he finished was very impressive, especially when looking at the fact that Robin's a 5'6" dude who maybe weighed 195, and most of the super heavyweights who were 6'3", 6'4", 300 plus pounds. None of the, very few of them finished. Very few of them. So this was an incredible feat. The most shocking thing was to see Kyle Evanoff not finish the sled pull. And again, I think this was just a clear sign that the weight cut had really screwed with him. Kyle has, I would say, probably the best grip out of everybody as far as like tested grip goes. I mean, he's done a 400 pound per hand farmer's hold. There's only one time in history I've ever seen him drop a farmer's walk. He's done some tremendously heavy farmer's walks, and he's a very proficient arm over arm puller. So very shocking to see him not finish this. Carlos Monsalve finished behind him with slightly less distance on the sled pull, but did finish the farmers. I got 23 feet, which is actually pretty damn good with a set of 265 per hand farmers. I'm not complaining. I took the 1 point. Dropped it a couple times and was like, you know what? It's not worth picking up. I'm not going to win this event. I'm not going to get any points on this event. Leave it. Save my energy for the next one. So I got last place in that. Will Murray got first. Next event, let's see if we can find it here. Conan's Wheel. This one was actually a disappointment for me because the log I expected to win, the farmer's walk I expected to get last place. The Conan's Wheel, I was really gunning to win it. And you know what? I just got outdone. I'll be honest. Guétion Plante did 7 turns, which is also actually the winning number for the super heavyweights. Jeremy Patfield got 6.5, which I believe was the second best for the super heavyweights as well. I got 6.25, so 6.25, putting me in third place, which is still a good placing. But you know what? I needed all the points I could get. I should have gone harder, and I didn't. And it is what it is. So yeah, hats off to Guétion for that incredible job on that. The guy just killed it. I was very, very impressed. So right behind me, even more impressive, Robin Killaron with 5.75, so 5 3/4 turns. Again, a very, very stunning performance for a much shorter athlete, and a lighter athlete as well. So, and something else to put into perspective, if I remember correctly, most of the super heavyweights actually did not get that many. I think we beat the vast majority. Only the guy in last place, I think, is one of the only ones that wouldn't have beat the vast majority of the super heavyweight roster in this event. So, pretty cool. But anyways, Guétion Plante in first, Jeremy Patfield in second, myself in third, Robin Killaron in fourth, Kyle Evanoff in fifth, Carlos Monsalve in sixth, and William Murray in seventh, which is honestly pretty shocking. Not gonna lie. First event of day 2. Excuse me. I apologize. It is late, and I should be in bed, but I have to get this out tonight. Because I said I would do it earlier, and I didn't. And then Alex dropped a video, and he beat me. And last time, he only beat me by like 20 minutes. So I gotta do this. Gotta do this. Anyways, first event of day 2, and mind you, talking to the competitors, no one had a good sleep. Nobody slept well. Nobody came into day 2 in the u90 Pro-Am class feeling good or healthy. Most of us were pretty beat up. Most of us were very tired. First event was the Stambag steeplechase, 250 pounds, over 2 steeples, and then picked up a third time and over a line, and then 300 pounds over 2 steeples, and then picked up again and over a line. So Gaetan, Carlos, William, and Robin Killeron all got the 250 to completion, but none of them got the 400-pound bag over. Both Jeremy and Kyle got the 400-pound bag over, but sorry, the 300-pound bag over, but only one bar. I got the 300-pound bag over 2 bars, thank God, but it was a bit of a struggle. I messed up the pick on my second pick over the first bar and had to like turn the bag sideways on my lap. Kind of a similar situation to how I did at the Arnold's actually, which sucks. So I need to try and find a different way to pick longer 300-pound bags because the bag I have that's 300 pounds is an inclusive bag and it's not that long in comparison to, let's say, a Rogue bag, which is much skinnier, much longer. So problematic. Still took the win, but problematic. I wanted to finish the course. Big sad. It is what it is. The event after that, so event 2 on day 2 was the deadlift ladder. Again, a huge surprise. I was really gunning to be second place, like clear second place in this. I figured Kyle Evanoff would take off with like 4 or 5 reps, but he actually narrowly missed out on a hamstring injury during the sandbag steeplechase, and I think this did affect his performance. Not only that, but the weight cut again, I believe, was really damaging him. Gaetan Plante with another incredible performance. This is Gaetan's second win in the competition and third very surprising top tier performance. Gaetan Plante with 4 reps, so 2 reps. Yeah, because it was 3 bars, a 505 a 525, a 575, and then a 600-pound bar. Now, Gaetan Plante got 2 reps on the 600-pound bar after the other 2 bars. I was expecting him to get 1. And I was like, maybe he'll get 2, but he got 2. And I was like very impressed with him. Kyle Evanoff also got the same amount, lifted the first 2 bars and lifted the last bar twice for a total of 4 reps. Again, like I said, probably that weight cut hurting him, and the fact his hamstring was not happy after that steeplechase. William Murray coming out really strong in this event, picking up that 600-pound bar. Myself, I underperformed. I'll just be plain about it. I sucked. I was expecting 2 or 3 reps out of myself on that 600-pound bar. And the second rep, I got up to my knees and it just stuck there for a bit and I put it down, which is fine. Happens sometimes. I was pretty bagged by this point, so I'm not blaming myself too much, but I'm very disappointed. Jeremy Patfield getting 2 reps, missing out on that 600-pound bar. He said he was coming in with a back injury. You know what? The guy has been performing like a bat out of hell this whole time. I think this is his lowest placing since the beginning of the show, in 5th place. Honestly, he was so bloody consistent across the board. Man is on fire. Next up with Robin Killeron and Carlos Monsalve, sadly missing the second bar, only getting the first. So they ended up in joint 6th. So we have Gaetan Plante and Kyle Evanoff tying for first, William and myself tying for second, and then Jeremy Patfield for 3rd place in the deadlift, which pretty rough. What are you going to do? The yoke press axle. So I was actually getting to win this, and I underperformed again. Coming into this event, I think basically everybody just had nothing left. We were all so tired. We were all smashed by this point. And I mean, like, the heaviest show in Canadian history for the middleweight class ever. I'm not surprised, especially it being a 2-day show with 6 events. It's a lot. It's a lot for us, and I think the guys really came out strong. For this event, we had a 3-way tie for first, finishing the yoke and 2 reps on the axle clean and press. The yoke was 625 or 650. I don't remember which one. And the axle clean and press was 255. So myself, William, and Robin Killeron. Robin with another very strong event coming out on top, tying for the yoke run and then 2 reps on the axle. Kyle Evanoff doing the yoke run, getting 1 rep on the axle with a standalone in 2nd place. Gaetan Plante, Carlos Monsalve, and Jeremy Patfield all tying on only getting the yoke as well. Very sad outcome for Jeremy Patfield, especially seeing as him and I came into this. Literally, we came into this last event tied, and that gave me a big points difference on him. I ended up 4 points ahead of him at the end of the day. But you know what? For William Murray coming out, I know he wasn't coming out 100%. He said he had a bit of a foot issue and one of his arms was giving him some trouble. To get 2 reps on that axle after a yoke run, incredible. I know the guy pulls crazy stuff like this out of his butt all the time, but still super shocking. Very admirable. Robin Killeron coming out and getting those 2 reps on that axle. I know Robin had something, kind of a chip on his shoulder after the deadlift. He was really hoping for that 750, the 575. Robin came out and just performed. The guy was consistent all day. I'm very impressed with him. Kyle Ebanoff only getting 1 rep. I think he was just gassed and knew that he couldn't really place any higher than he was, but figured he was safe from the guys below him. So I think he just cut it off there. Again, being in a lot of pain and not having the best prep, I think it was a good outcome for him, to be honest. Gitian, I think he kind of knew it would be a struggle bus to get that 255 axle. He was kind of on fire all day, so maybe he was hoping to get it, but I don't think he was too butthurt over it. Carlos Masalv, the guy was actually practicing his axle really hard, and he was pretty close to getting the split jerk on it, but it just couldn't quite get it. I think he was very Kippy, it's fine. Sorry, my dog's barking. I think Carlos was very disappointed in himself to miss this lift because he had done it in training, and his split jerk technique is fantastic. Jeremy Patfield, honestly, the biggest shocker on this one. I thought he'd be right behind me on this event. The guy was I think he was just gassed, man. I think he was just gassed. It was a long show, super tough show. But yeah, no, I was grateful. I got the 2 reps. I missed my clean on my first rep and then had to do 2 reps after that. I was hoping to get all 3, but at the end of the day, when I looked over and saw that Jeremy hadn't gotten any reps because he was kind of head to head with me, I was like, you know what? I'll just leave it. So I walked away. I was like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I don't need this. I'll take the win. And I did, shockingly, and I did not expect to win. I always come planning to win, but I did not expect to win. So I ended up with 30.5 points. Jeremy Patfield at 26.5. Kyle at 26, only half a point behind Jeremy. Holy smokes. And coming up hot on his heels for 4th, a tie between Gitian Plant and Robin Killeron. Holy smokes, that was tight. 24 points. 21 points below them was William Murray. And